Right. Now I am discussing Katherine Mansfield's short story Bliss, which is one of the short stories in your first year syllabus under Introduction to Literature. Bliss. Now this is a story about a female, right? A married lady, right? And she has also a daughter, but her behavior is different. Now this is the introduction. Katherine Mansfield was born Katherine in New Zealand. At 19, she moved to England, where she became friends with the leading literary lights of the modern revolution, including D.H. Lawrence and Virginia Woolf. In 1918, she married John Middleton Murray, a prominent writer and literary critic. She wrote novels and poetry, but is known today primarily for her short stories. Bliss was first published in the English Review in 1918 and later included in the volume Bliss and Other Stories in 1920. Now this is the story written in that time. Now she died in 1923, about 19th time. That time there were no vehicles like today, no facilities, phones, yes. So protagonist is Bertha Young, right? This is your, first year story, right? Now there's now you know who knows ladies' feelings. Men know ladies. I ask you a question. Do males or females know about ladies? Yes. I think you didn't understand what I said. Who identify the emotions of females? Females or males? Who can interpret females? One message came. Yes, females. Females can understand females. Right? That is why our females always guard us when we are talking other females. Right? Now, this Bertha Young is a lady who is little bit abnormal. Although Bertha Young was 30, she was 30, she still had moments like this. When she wanted to run instead of walk, to take dancing steps on and off the pavement, to bowl a hoop, to throw something up in the air and catch it again, or to stand still and laugh at nothing simply. So Katherine Mansfield takes a female character called Bertha Young, 30, whose behavior is like a little girl. She is walking on the pavement and sometimes runs instead of walk. Now this is a married lady. To take dancing steps on and off the pavement. While running, she takes dancing steps. To bowl a hoop is a dancing, type of a dancing. To throw something up in the air and catch again. Or to stand still and laugh at nothing. Sometimes stay and laugh at nothing, simply. So can such a behavior be expected from a lady of 30? Yes. No. If it is a little girl, little daughter about 5 or 6 years old, we can expect such a behavior. So this is a married lady and also a mother. Then you can understand her behavior. Now, there's a reason for her behavior. She is an abnormally sexy lady. What can you do if you are 30 and turn in the corner of your own street? You are overcome suddenly by your feelings of bliss, absolute bliss. Now the narrator says if there's a lady, right, then she becomes silent when coming to the street. Whatever we do outside, in our village, we are silent, as though you had suddenly swallowed the bright piece of that late afternoon sun. The reason she has swallowed a bright piece of late afternoon sun and it burned in your bosom, sending out a little shower of sparks into every particle, into every finger and toe. She has swallowed the bright piece of the afternoon sun, and that piece is inside the bosom. It is sending particles, and those particles shower out from every point, finger, toe. Therefore, what automatically she is quivering and dancing. You understand? She is too lusty. Why? This is the behavior of high social class, right? Not now in England, that time there were two social classes. One grassroots level poor and other the rich one. Here, this lady, Bertha, belongs to the rich social class. So the writer here speaks of that behavior. Now, normal social class women, they don't dance like this. They have not swallowed the bright piece of afternoon sun. Our social class, they have swallowed granite or bricks instead of bright piece of afternoon sun. Poor social class females, we are our class poor, They have to think so many things than these things. This lady, Bertha, she has no other things to think. She has money, everything. So thinking about that side only. Oh, is there no way you can express it without being drunk and disorderly? Who says? Katherine Mansfield. Katherine Mansfield says it can't be expressed. Her behavior can't be expressed normally, naturally. One should be drunk and disorderly to explain her situation. How idiotic civilization is. Now Bertha thinks how idiotic civilization is. Why? What is civilization? Civilization is what makes us decent. We all are bound to different civilizations. We, now Sri Lankan Sinhala, Sri Lankan Muslim, Sri Lankan Tamil, or Sri Lankan, that is our civilization. Civilization keeps limitation for us. Marriage is one side of civilization. Marriage implements limitation for one man to one woman only. Right? So, sexual life is also limited, confined to one only. That is civilization. Bertha blames that. Bertha criticizes how idiotic civilization. She thinks, why be given a body if you have to keep it shut up in a case like rare fiddle? Fiddle is what? Plays violin. She says she equates her body to a violin shut in a case, and it is taken very rarely only because people don't always play violin. She challenges that. She says her body should not be a violin, and that is played very rarely. So here later we understand that her husband is a good friend, but he does not fall into sexual act very often, and that means that is very rare, right? Therefore, she is suffering from that absence. That is why what bright piece of afternoon sun is inside the bosom. At least there is no any boy in the neighborhood to consider. Don't tell that I'm a vulgar man. This is a story prescribed in the syllabus. First year, I decided to take this in order to show what syllabus is and how far this is interesting, valuable, and how it can improve your English knowledge. Because some people think that English means something else. English means there is something to learn. That's why this degree is very significant. No. That about the fiddle is not quite what I mean. She thought, running up the steps and feeling in her bag for the key. She had forgotten it, as usual, and rattling the letterbox. It's not what I mean, because thank you, Mary. She went into the hall. Is nurse back? No, she has gone somewhere. She went to market and came home. Now there is Mary, mean her servant. Is nurse back? He asked Mary. Is nurse back? Nurse is looking after daughter. She has servants, right? She has everything she wants. Money, comfortable house, social friends, but she's lacking one thing, carnal pleasure. That is why she's dancing on the road, dancing on the pavement. That is the husband's mistake. Yes. Yes, madam. Now, therefore, she wants to accomplish her wishes in various ways. Right? Being a woman, she can't tell her husband. She gives some hints. But this foolish man doesn't understand that. One time she does everything. She arranges party to stimulate husband. In parties, there are some soups. Now, there's a type of a soup. It is called sexual stimulation. She gives that also to husband. Right? And she also brings beautiful women home. Later understand Pearl Fulton, a very beautiful girl, to stimulate husband and then to take that advantage. But that man falls in love with that woman. Right? And has fruit come? Now she has gone to market and ordered fruit. Yes, madam, everything come. Bring the fruit up to the dining room, will you? I'll arrange it before I go upstairs. It was dusk in the dining room and quite chilly. Chilly means cold. But all the same time, Bertha threw off her coat. Bertha removed her coat and threw off. She could not bear the tight clasp of it another moment, and the cold air fell on her arms. She liked that cold air. Why? Why does she like cold air? She can't. Now it is environmentally cold. Outside it is cold. But she removed her coat. What is the reason? Her body is burning with that bright fish is hot always. But in her bosom, there was still that bright glowing place. In her bosom, that bright glowing place, that fire, that shower of still sparks coming from it. Now, who writes this? Lady or gentleman, male or female writer? Katherine Mansfield is female. That's why at the beginning I ask you a question. Who understand female thoughts, females or males? One sent a message saying females. There's a very famous saying, very famous story. It said that one man, one high post, man with a high post, manager like that, went to a wedding. The wedding premises was fully crowded. He went with his wife. That time there were no phones like today. It is a long time before a story. And he missed his wife because all ladies were wearing the same right glittering dresses, so she couldn't find the wife. After that, she neared the beautiful lady and smiled to her and said, "Excuse me, miss, can you speak to me for a while?" Laughing with gestures, with showing full friendliness. After that, lady has told, "Mister, I don't know you. So how can I talk?" No. I came with my wife, right? Suddenly I want to meet her, but I missed her. And now I want to find her somehow other. When I am talking to you friendly, my wife would come to this place from wherever. After that, lady agreed and was talking. As he said, wife came running to that place. You understood the story? Did you understand what I said? Yes. Now, yes. But in her bosom, there was still that bright glowing place, that shower of still sparks coming from it. It was almost unbearable. She hardly dared to breathe, for fear of fanning it higher, and yet she breathed deeply. She was breathing. She hardly dared to breathe. Yes. She hardly dared to look into the cold mirror. But she did look, and it gave her a back woman radiant with smiling, trembling with lips, with big dark eyes and air of listening, waiting for something divine to happen. Now she looks herself through the mirror. She sees her image. It is a beautiful woman, divine, wait something divine to happen that she must know happen infallibly. Now on this particular day, she is arranging a party to stimulate her husband and to be on bed with him tonight. So from the morning she is arranging this everything, but at last she becomes hopeless. So female thoughts are brought out with an interpretation by another female. This is not about Sri Lankan female. This is England, especially London in the early half of the 20th century, in Queen Victoria's time. This is a Victorian story, right? Mary Broad, Victorian story means in Victorian age. I have given you the ages of English literature in England. Mary Broad in the fruit of a tray, and with it a glass bowl and a blue dish, very lovely, with a strange sheen on it, as though it had been dipped in a milk. She brings a glass bowl, everything she has at home. Now she has gone to market and brought different types of fruit, grapes, tangerine, apple, pears. Shall I turn on the light, madam? No, thank you, I can see quite well. That Mary asked that she should switch on the light. No. He said, no, I can see quite well. Why? Her eyes are also very bright. Even in the darkness, she can see. That's why I say, no, thank you, I can see quite well. There were tangerines, apples stained with strawberry pink, some yellow pears, smooth as silk, some white grapes covered with a silver bloom, and big cluster of purple ones. Different types of, yes, fruit. Her husband doesn't know that she has brought them. That means she has money. She has money. There are things. There are no things to be done with money. You and our case, if we have money, we have so many things to do. These last, she had brought, that means grapes, to tone in with the new dining room carpet. She has brought the grapes to tone, mean match the color of the carpet. Do you bring food items to match the carpet? No. We poor social class don't do that. Yes, that did sound rather far fetched and absurd, but it was really why she had brought them. She had taught them in the shop. She went to shop, and in the shop she thought like this. I must have some purple ones to bring the carpet to the table. And it had seemed quite sense at the time. Right? Give me 1 minute. Please read this part. Yes. When she, yes, and it seemed quite sense at the time. Now, when you understand the story, you should apply with this the time period, early half of the 20th century. Now, our childhood and today are different, you know. Now here, Bertha has a good house, upstairs, beds, mattresses, servants, telephone. Now that time telephone means our childhood's a luxury item. In 1985 or like that, when we were going to sit for scholarship exam, we were brought on a lorry to post office to show us a telephone. Right? My father was the postmaster. Therefore, I had a big respect then. Right? That time telephone means a rare item because there was no television, you know. Television also came to Sri Lanka after 1983. It was only in Colombo. It went to other areas after 87 like that. When she had finished with them and had made 2 pyramids of these bright round shapes, now she makes pyramids with this what? Fruit. She stood away from the table to get the effect, and it really was most curious. What? Now, the title is Bliss. This lady Bertha Young, she wants bliss from various ways. Now, her final intention is carnal bliss. To get carnal bliss, she goes through many blisses. Now, one pyramid, making pyramids with what? Fruit items. That means she is a spendthrift. She has a lot of money to spend. She stood away from the table to get the effect, and it really was most curious. For the dark table seemed to melt into the dusky light, and the glass dish and the blue bowl to float in the air. She switched off the light and sees them. She sees them floating. Why? Are these normal things or abnormal things? Do ladies get this type of fun? No. Right? Abnormal. Rare. Now, you may ask, why does Katherine Mansfield write this? Not only that, she writes the garden party, in which showed the behavior of a rich social class. Always she takes a rich social class, not poor social class. Sorry. Their behavior, their psychological level like that. No. I am getting hysterical. And she seized her bag and coat and ran upstairs to the nursery. Now went to the nursery. Why? There, her daughter, little daughter is there. Now she is a mother. But though she is a mother, though she is 30, her body is waiting for something to happen. She thinks it is like a violin played very rarely. Yes. So one lady told me, sir, this may be Katherine Mansfield's story. Nurse sat at the low table, giving little B, meaning baby, her supper after bath. Now there's a nurse. Right? Nurse, the baby had on the white flannel gown and blue woolen jacket. These are expensive things. And her dark fine hair was brushed up into a funny little peak. She looked up when she saw her mother and began to jump. Now, my lovely, eat up it like a good girl, said nurse. Nurse doesn't like arrival of Bertha because nurse loves this little child. And Bertha doesn't know how to lull the child, how to feed the child, right? Therefore, nurse doesn't want Bertha to come. Setting her lips in a way that Bertha knew, and that meant she had come to the nursery at another wrong moment. She bit her lip to indicate Bertha to leave the place. Has she been good nanny? She has been little sweet all the afternoon, whispered Nanny. We went to the park and I sat down on a chair and took out of the tram. Tram babies are kept. And a big dog came along and put its heads on my knee. And she clutched its ear, tugged it, oh, you should have seen her. Funny things, ne? Now, another thing that Katherine Mansfield wants to tell about the absence of depth and seriousness. Now, when visitors come our homes, there are so many things for us to discuss: politics, economy. But Bertha has nothing to discuss because her world is limited. Money and comfortable things. Right? Now, you know Colombo night clubs. Billionaires come at night with a briefcase of money. I think you may know that. Some billionaires sometimes come to nightclubs with 5,000 bundles briefcase. They want to finish it before leaving early in the morning for throwing dancing girls. So, that's another world. Normally, a single person to go to a nightclub and enjoy, at least there should be 2 lakhs for a night. For a teacher, it is like a loan taken from a bank. So there's a difference between social class, right? Uh, okay, they can change the cars. Now see how many new vehicles people bought. People have money. Right? We have no, but others have. Okay. Uh, Bertha wanted to ask this word we pronounce not wanted, wanted. To ask if it wasn't rather dangerous to let her clutch at the strange dog's ear. Now you know, during Ranil Wickremesinghe's office as president, he has eaten cashew for 30 million. That's okay. Why? Money has been allocated for his expenses, therefore can't take legal actions. Okay. 3 crores, he ate cashew but can't take legal actions because according to law, he has funds. So our social class, right. But she did not dare it to. She stood watching them, her hands by her side, like the poor little girl in front of the rich girl with the doll. Now, who is the rich girl with the doll? Bertha's daughter. Poor girl, nanny. That is also a point through which the writer shows poverty and richness. Money world and poor world. Yes. I know one man, a billionaire, he has about 10 wives. More than 10. Every girl came to his company like that. Later became illegal wife. Then he bought a big house and given a car, all the facilities. Right? And sometimes she remains unmarried. Some are married, right? And then given her another business. I know one lady, she has a hardware. Who is friend? That old man, company owner. Because they have lot of money. They have all sorts of fun. One time when I went to a fish stall, that seller told me there's a spa nearby. Then I saw some people going. I asked him about, because people know me very well. He told her, once a week there comes a man in a Benz. He calls and comes. He hires all girls, all the girls in spa, right? If there are 10 girls, he hires 10 girls. So chats them and spends them and goes after 4 hours like that. So that is only in that spa, you know. Then other places also he may go. Right? Sometimes drugs money. Yes. So ritual. What do we teachers do? The writer shows that ritual through this Bertha. The baby looked up at her again. Now that when Mahinda Rajapaksa was president, Shiranti Rajapaksa's brother, was the chairman of Air Lanka. So for lunch, he took a plane to Singapore. Lunch. Then have a bath there and take lunch and have a snap, and evening comes by that ship, that flight. So that was the way. Oh, Nanny, do let me finish giving her supper while you put the bath things away. Now, Bertha today wants to feed the child. Why? Today she is excited. Now she is waiting for something to happen. Very sad. What is called playful now. Well, but this girl doesn't like. But madam, she want to be changed hands while she is eating. Said Nanny, still whispering. It unsettles her. It's very likely to upset her because being a mother, she doesn't know how to feed the child. Nanny doesn't like it. How absurd it was. Why have a baby if it has to be kept not in a case like a rare fiddle, but in another woman's arms? She thinks. But she has money. She doesn't want to lull her. Oh, I must see, said she. Very offended, Nanny handed over her. Now don't excite her after her supper. You know you do, madam. And I have such a time with her after. Thank heaven, Nanny went into the room with her bath towels. Now I've got you to myself. My little treasure, said Bertha as they leaned against her, as the baby leaned against her. Baby likes her mother, but like a rare fiddle, very rarely she takes child because she wants to dance about the road. She ate delightfully, holding up her lips for the spoon and then waving her hand. Sometimes she wouldn't let the spoon go, and sometimes just as Bertha had filled it, she waved it away to the four wings because child doesn't like to eat as Bertha fed. When the soup was finished, Bertha turned round to Fire. You are nice, you are very nice, said she, kissing her warm baby. I am fond of you, I like you. And indeed, she loved little bee so much. Her neck as she bent forward, her exquisite toes as they shone transparent in the firelight. Their body also transparent, very smooth. That told her feeling of bliss came back again and again. She didn't know how to express this, what to do with it. Again with the child, but that idea again came to her head. You are wanted on the telephone, said Nanny. That means telephone symbolizes what? Rich social class. That time, coming back in triumphant in her little beak. Now, our childhood, Mr. Ranasinghe Premdas, Sajit's father was president and prime minister, you know. Our teachers taught us children, Sajit Premdas learning Sinhala on telephone because Sajit was learning in London that time. Our teacher said, Sajit learning Sinhala on telephone. Arisen Nahupudi from Sri Lanka teaching Sinhala on telephone. That means that time telephone was a luxurious item. But now even beggars have not only 1, 2, 3. Coconut pluckers all have what? Expensive phones. There is no dog without a phone now. Yes. Sorry. Now there's a telephone call, you know. Down she flew. It was Harry. Harry, her husband. Oh, is that you, Burr? You look there. I'll be late. I'll take a taxi and come along as quickly as I can, but get dinner. Put back 10 minutes will be all right, okay? Yes, perfectly, Harry, yes. Now, here what the writer wants to say that for 10 minutes delay of dinner also, they call. Unlike now, we have to understand the story, applying that to that time, okay? That time, having a telephone, having a car mean a big thing, yes. Our childhood, there were no motorbikes. For a village, only one or two bikes. Therefore, we puffed balloons and bound it to the back fork of the foot bicycle. As when riding, it rubbed on the spoke wheel and gave a sound. Then people from houses came out to roads to see a motor bicycle. They say, motor bicycle. We issued people like that. There was a time period like that, okay? That time having a motorbike mean every junction a girl can be taken, right? Yes. A girl on a bike that time, pillion rider. Pillion rider mean, you know the word pillion rider? Rider mean one who rides the bike. Pillion rider mean seated back. When girls pillion riders were very proud while going with boyfriend like that, they were looking both sides. One of my neighbors, as well as one of my relative uncles, called Mahinda Disanayaka, wrote a song for that also, Sinhala song, and sung by Dulkane. I don't know whether you understand Sinhala.
Ajaniya scooter.
Right. Ajaniya scooter, Turanga Pitavadina. Yes, right, you are correct. Yes. I did bioscience. After when we completed A-level, Tobacco Corporation gave some appointments as field officers, right? Normally that time they gave those vacancies for those who did bio because they gave trail bike. I also applied, but that time I didn't have riding license. Right. Yes, perfectly, oh Harry. Yes. What had she to say? She had nothing to say. She only wanted to get in touch. Taraka, just now I saw you after calling.
I said just come because I had some other classes.
Tomorrow, I am going to Human Rights Commission with my son to make a complaint against university, okay?
Okay, sir. Right.
My son will do that because I don't get others. And next week, I am going to Supreme Court to file a case.
Yes, it just keep dragging and dragging. I don't know what's going to happen.
Yes, I will do either one. Right, never mind, it is in the recording, never mind. It may go to university. What is she rapped out? The little voice, nothing Nintendo. Now, little voice means that little daughters. What is it? Nothing Nintendo. Who says? And what is the? And what do you mean by Nintendo? That little girl's name.
Isn't it in French? It is heard.
Huh?
There's a French term also. I maybe that I thought it is a French term.
No, because maybe sometimes.
Mhm.
How to pronounce in French?
I don't know, but I just searched it now. It says it translates as herd, H-E-A-R-D.
No. Here that English girl's name, okay?
Okay, sir, right.
Said Bertha and hung up the receiver, thinking how much more than idiotic civilization was. Again, she is thinking about idiotic civilization. Why? Her intention is something else. She thinks about the civilization. We learnt it from the beginning. They had people coming to dinner. And now she has invited some family friends for a dinner. What is the intention? Intention is to stimulate her husband to have sex tonight. Right? Now, you adults, don't, I say again and again, don't think that I'm a vulgar man. You have to ask Madam Nagasundaram and Professor Lalita Anand for and Indra Low others for selecting these things for your syllabus. Right. Now, for dinner, husband doesn't know that there is a party. This wife does so through the party. She wants to encourage him. He's also like water, like what is called snake god, right? The Norman Knights, one couple, very sound couple. She wants to say how they love each other, but you and my no service. He was, I don't know whether ladies will be angry with me sometimes. Some are there today for the first time came. No, literature, I mean literature. You can learn this with your husband. Ask husband to sit next, and then he will also learn literature. Now I have produced more than 1,000 graduates. 3 years or 4 years, student came to my class, same student. Then the husbands became friendly with me. Then uh, the ladies, because many are ladies, this degree students. Uh, and she was awfully keen on interior decoration. A young man, another young man, Eddie Warren, who had just published a little book of poems and whom everybody was asking to dine. Right? There's a man called Eddie Warren, but everybody asking to dinner. He's also there. And a find of Bertha called Pearl Fulton. Right. Find mean he's not a friend. Bertha from somewhere found this lady. Her name, yes, Pearl Fulton. Pearl Fulton is a very beautiful girl with transparent body, shining bright skin, her looks and everything lusty, sexy and passionate. Through her, Bertha wants to encourage her husband. Do wives bring beautiful ladies home as friends to encourage husband? Normally in our society? No, don't you understand what I say? No, never. Right? Even her best friend comes, right? Always hanging about the husband. In our first year waiting, that Mudalali, his wife Karohami, when other ladies come and sit, Karohami also comes and sit next to Mudalali. And Karohami is making hoppers early morning to her tea shop. Karohami grinding chili paste for hoppers when she grinding chili paste, she thinks that grinding stone is rolling over Selohami's body. She thinks that she is rolling Selohami because Selohami and Mudalali, they have no connection, but she believes so. I think those who did HND know that story. Anyone of you knows Waiting Earth? Yes. I mean this story? No. First year you have to learn this also. Huh? Right. That is how our social class. But Bertha brings a beautiful lady to stimulate the husband and by then take vantage. For example, that Selohami, there is Rapiel Lappu. Rapiel Lappu's wife is Katrina Hami. He doesn't like Katrina Hami. Rapiel one time leaves the village and then Codisigno goes to meet her. She says, Ayya. Now, Rapiel Lappu loves Selohami. That's a long story. I want to say, when having sex with Katrina Hami, Rapiel mutters Selohami's name, but that is not clear. She says, Ayya, when that man on bed with me mutters another woman's name, but that is not clear. That means Selohami. Many complexities are there. This is also written by Punyakanti Vijayanayaka, right? A lady. That's why I say don't blame me. I want to say this is the way of literature. All right, find. I mean, this Pearl Fulton is not Bertha's friend. Bertha has met her in a supermarket and become friendly, and she brought her. Yes, find out Bertha called Pearl Fulton. Other thing, Bertha is also lesbian in addition to her marriage. There can be such things. What Miss Fulton did, Bertha didn't know. They had met at a club bar. That means Bertha also went to club. Pearl Fulton also went to club. And Bertha had fallen in love with her. The term fallen in love, we normally use male-female love. So there's a lesbianary affair between them that can happen. As she always did fall in love with beautiful women here. She always did fall in love with beautiful women. Sometimes no service from husband. Therefore, she may have looked otherwise. Who had something strange about them. Something strange, he also one literary idea. Bertha loved. The provoking thing was that, although they had been about together, now this type of things are there in the world. One day, when I was by the road, one man came to me and said, Sir, can I talk to you for a while? I said, Sir, may I sit on your car? Yes, I said. Man, we are in a tie. And like that. Then he asked me, I have seen you, sir. Like that went on a talk. After that, this man began pressing my hand like that. Right? I understood what was happening, opened the door and gave several shots. So, I mean, if it is a lady, it's okay. Men come in and doing like that. I thought that he would be a insurance man, no, like that coming to talk. That means homosexual men are there to talk. We live in a society like that. Up to a certain point, Miss Fulton was really wonderfully frank. But the certain point was there that beyond that she would not go. Was there anything beyond it? Harry said. Now to Harry also she told about this woman. Why? Encouraging. Harry said, no. You know, have you seen female illusions in Sinhala Ganumaya? Have you heard? Female illusion. Can't in Sinhala. 64 මායන් කියලා අහලා තියෙනවද? Females have 64 illusions. Males multiply it to 1. 64 වැඩි කරන දෙක කීයද? කාන්තාවන්ට තියෙන්නේ if they have 64, males have 128. Now, this man Harry likes this woman. Who is the woman? Girl, Pearl Fulton. Wife tells about her beauty. Then should husband tell that yes, she is beautiful or like that? She is beautiful, but should husband tell so? Now, if a lady said to her husband, see that beautiful lady while driving, husband should say, you are talking what madnesses, I am driving, I didn't see like that, you know. But so, otherwise can tell, yes, nice hair, nice like that, no. That's why I said, here Harry is a very cunning man. He likes that girl, but he say, no. Watered the dullish and cold like blonde women, with a touch perhaps anemia of the brain. He condemns that girl. Who? Who is condemned?
Fulton.
Pearl Fulton. The lady that wife brought home. But Bertha wouldn't agree with him, not yet at any rate. Now, she brought her to encourage husband, showing her beauty and like that. Now the way she has sitting with the head a little one side and smiling has something behind Harry, and I must find out what something is there. She says, don't tell so, Harry. No, the way she has sitting with the head a little on one side and smiling has something behind it. The wife tells so. Here, Bertha is different. This man again cunning. He says, most likely good stomach chances, Harry. She can eat a lot. He made the point of catching Bertha's seals with replies of that. Liver frozen. My dear girl. He tells wife, my dear girl. But his idea is to that woman. Later in the story that happened. Pure flatulence, kidney disease, and so on. For some strange reason, Bertha liked this. And almost admired him with very much. At the beginning of the story, I told you, I asked you who knows a female. Desires males or females? Right, females. The writer is females. Katherine Mansfield write about a rich lady, not our social class. She went into the drawing room and lighted the fire, then picking up the cushions one by one. Now, I have personally met so many experiences like this. I mean, one day when I dropped my one office, her friend came out to go somewhere. And she said, "Danny, miss, asked her to drop me." After that, she got on and she told, "Get on front seat." Then she got and I went and I dropped. And after that, in the evening, it was a trouble. Though I told, I asked her to sit on the front seat, you could have told to sit on the back seat like that. Because front seat only mine, no, right? So those are common things, yes. Then after that, she went into the drawing room, lighted the fire, then picking up the cushions. Here, cushions mean richness. One by one, that Mary had disposed so carefully. She threw them back onto the chairs and the couches. There are couches, chairs, everything she wants. That made all the difference. The room came alive at once. As she was about to throw the last one, she surprised herself by suddenly hugging into her passionately. Now you know Bertha's intention. Very innocent woman. That husband didn't understand it because they have money. The reason they have money, they have all sorts of enjoyment, funny, parties, traveling, right? Therefore, they don't care that side. But this woman wants out in the fire, yes, but it did not put out the fire in her bosom. Again, that comes to that bright piece of the evening, afternoon sun, or on the contrary, right? The windows of the drawing room opened onto a balcony overlooking the garden. Now, balcony and garden also symbolize what? Rich social class. Rich social class, because poor class has no balconies, right? Upstairs balconies. I again ask you that you should go back to the story. Go back to the time period of Queen Victoria. The early half of the 20th century, not present. Today, ladies are not fidgeting like that, right? I mean, at present, they have options. They are outgoing in a company, they have Maljibabas, oils nearby one, male also. But I mean, now at that time, limitation. Nowadays, Facebook and everything is there, social media. Ladies are open now. Right. The windows of the drawing room open onto a balcony overlooking the garden. Now, in a London town, having a garden means, now the story is set in London town. In London town, having a garden means a big property. Now, also, there are no gardens in London. Houses are situated by the road. At the far end against the wall there was a tall, slender pear tree in fullest, richest bloom. It stood perfect as though becalmed against jade green sky. Now in analyzing this story, this existence of pear tree is very important. There's a pear tree, fullest in fruit, no blooms, no flowers. That slender pear tree is is a symbol for Bertha's body, because at the end of the story, Bertha mutters to herself, "You lovely pear tree, pear tree, pear tree." This is a very interesting story. Huh? Literature means literature. Yes. Bertha couldn't help feeling, even from the distance, that it had not single bud or faded petal. No flowers, no budded, no buds, but only pears. That means it is a symbol for her body. Her body is also, right, flourishing like this slender pear tree. But there is no man to answer. Right? Now nothing news of talking, because this woman lived 1910 or 15, now 2025. Right? But I could, yes, down below. Now you are not to apply with this our Sri Lankan females, England, at that time, at Victoria's time. In the garden beds, the red and yellow tulips, heavy with flowers, seem to lean upon the dust. A grey, right. After that, a grey cat, dragging its belly, crept along the lawn, and black one, its shadow trailed after her. Do you know why cats may rub their body on floor? Because sexually stimulated. That is a symbol for this woman, because she can't drag her body on floor. The sight of them, so intent and so quick, gave Bertha a curious shiver. "What creepy things cats are," she stammered, and she turned away from the window and began walking up and down. Why began walking up and down? She's always hot. She's active. How strong jonquils smelled in the warm room. Jonquils are some flowers. She has brought flowers also in addition to fruit. Too strong. Oh no. And yet, as though overcome, she flung down on the couch and pressed her hands to her eyes. "I'm too happy, too happy." Right. Now it is 10:18. Okay. මේකත් කරලා මොකද 7 pages are there. Now again you have to understand that this is the behavior of rich social class females in England in the Victorian time period, not in Sri Lanka. Okay. Katherine Mansfield shows that. Give me 1 minute. You know, today I did a seminar for A-level student this time, 8:30 to 3 p.m. paper class. After that, 27 A-level class from 6 to 8. Right? Give me 1 minute. Huh? Yes. And she seemed to see on her eyelids the lovely pear tree, with its wide open blossoms as a symbol of her own life. I told you that pear tree symbolizes her life, full of fruits, prosperous tree. Her body is also like that. Now, uh, according to Sigmund Freud, humans want carnal pleasure just as water. Freudian theory is too sexual. According to Plato, true love is neither sexual nor physical. True love loves the idea of beauty. So Platonic theory and Freudian theory are different. Here, which theory is applicable? Freudian, right? Our social class, there are so many things for our ladies to think instead of that. Now, how to make tomorrow morning breakfast. So cut down the things and put in the fridge. Think about children, washing, right? Then no fireplaces in bosom like Bertha, granite, right? Really, she had everything. She was young. Harry and she were as much as in love as ever. They are in love. And they got on together splendidly and were really good pals. They are good, really pals, husband and wife. She had an adorable baby. They didn't have to worry about the money. At the beginning, I told they didn't have to worry about the money. They have all the things they want. They had this absolutely satisfactory house and garden and friends, modern, thrilling friends, writers, painters, and poets or people keen on social questions, just as the kinds of friends they wanted. They have family friends. So they have all the things they want. Now, to this Harry's problem, he doesn't care about wife. Married, it is like Balagiri doshe, not today, tomorrow. Again, tomorrow, think I, oh, again, tomorrow. Tomorrow, again, delaying. And that's the case. And then there were books and there was music, and she had found a wonderful little dressmaker. There's a dressmaker also they have. And they were going abroad in the summer. Every summer they are going abroad. That means they enjoy life in every ways, but one way is absent. Man doesn't care it. Later we come to know that he's also a scandalous man. Nah? He may have many other connections, but it's not mentioned, but here one connection mentioned. And their new cook made the most superb omelette. There's a new cook also. I'm absurd. She sat up. But she felt quite dizzy, quite drunk. It must have been the spring. There was one teledrama, single one, I don't know, I don't remember the name that time, about 20 years ago. Somi Ratnayaka was acting. Samita Arandhati, Somi Ratnayaka's servant. Samita got pregnant from her master. And master, that man angry with his wife. He doesn't have sex with wife. Anyone remembers that drama? There was such a thing? No. Yes. She sat up. But she felt quite dizzy, quite drunk. I must have been the spring. It must have been the spring. Yes, it was the spring now. She was tired. She could not drag herself up to dress upstairs to the wife. She has worn a heavy dress. She could not, because party dress. Everything they want, they have. Dressing, whatever it is, the writer says, Katherine Mansfield, the lady, whatever she has, one thing she has lost. A white dress, a string of jade beads, green shoes and stockings. It wasn't intentional. She had thought of the scheme hours before she stood drawing room window. Her petals rustled softly into the halls. Her petals. She kissed Mrs. Norman Knight. Norman Knight, one couple, who was taking off the most amusing orange coat with a possession of black monkeys round the hem of the front. Black monkeys also symbolizes passion. Monkeys have no place, They are talking so many unnecessary things. Why is the middle class so stodgy, so utterly without a sense of humor, my dear? They are talking, no? It's only a fluke that time, he had told Norman Bean, the protective fluke. For my darling monkey so upset the train that he rose to a man and simply ate me with his eyes. Didn't laugh, wasn't amused that I should have loved, no, just stared and bored me through and through. So the writer shows they are talking very useless thing. But the cream of it was, said Norman. The Norman couple has come to party. What they are talking, pressing a large tortoise-shaped rimmed monocle. That time only rich class men wore that tortoise-shell rimmed monocle in his eye. You don't mind me telling this? Face, do you? Husband and wife talking as face and mouth for fun. But that time there was poor social class. They could not talk like that. In their home and among their friends, they called each other face and mouth. Norman Knight couple, husband face, wife mug go, wife face, husband mug. Yes. The cream of it was when she, being full of faith, turned to the woman beside her and said, haven't you ever seen a monkey before? Oh, yes, Mr. Norman Knight joined the laughter. Wasn't that too absolutely creamy? And funnier thing still was that now her coat was off and she did look like a very intelligent monkey who had even made that yellow silk dress out of scraped banana skins and her amber earrings. They were like little dangling nuts. This is a sad, sad fall, said Mug, posing in front of little bee perambulator. That little child is coming in her perambulator, go-kart. When the perambulator comes into the hall and waved the rest of the quotation away, the bell rang. It was Lean. Pale Lady Warren in a state of acute distress. That poet is coming, Lady Warren. That time poet means a big, respectable character. It is the now she has invited Eddie. It is the right house, isn't it? He pleaded. Oh, think so. I hope so, said Bertha brightly. Bertha brightly. Bertha is very happy to welcome strangers. Now yours and mine, can we always welcome strangers and give them parties? No, impossible, right? He comes and tells. Now Bertha likes to have parties and serve them. It's okay if you have too much money. I have had such a dreadful experience. The taxi man, he was a more sinister, who says, Eddie Warren. That time, hiring a taxi means also a big thing. I couldn't get him to stop. The more I knocked and called, the faster he went. And in the moonlight, this bizarre figure with the flattened head crouching over the little wheel. They are very immature things. They are talking those things. The rich social class, they have very simple things to talk. He shudders, taking off immense white silk scarf. But I noticed that his socks were white too, most charming. Even socks most charming. But how dreadful, she cried. Yes, it really was, said Eddie, following her into the drawing room. I saw myself driving through eternity in a timeless taxi, he says. He knew the Norman Knights. In fact, he was going to write a play for NK, Norman Knight, when the theatre scheme came out. Norman Knights are going to start a theatre film hall. So for the film, they have asked this man, young poet, Eddie Warren, to write what is called script. So they are rich social class members, and up to now, till the page 4, we discussed about that behavior. Now let's stop, and I should take other 1 hour to complete other 2 pages. Now, pages 9 pages. Bertha's intention is to stimulate the husband for carnal pleasure. I don't know how far I'm fair to tell this at night because many are ladies, hurry. I make a thousand gown. Good night.